What's going on, everyone? I wanted to do this quick follow-up video to the one I had done a couple months back on the audiobooks for building mental strength. And now I talk a lot about health and fitness and powerlifting and building physical strength, but I think it's really important that you focus on building mental strength as well, because the physicality really only takes you so far. And I just think it's really important to listen to audiobooks or even just read books if you're into that, and just continue to grow mentally, day by day. So I'll annotate the audiobooks throughout the screen as I normally do, and I'll put the links in the description below. Some of these audiobooks are actually free, so I'll include the download links to those, but other ones you may have to go to like Amazon or Audible or one of those sites to download it. So, kicking things off, I wanted to start with two audiobooks actually. I'm going to do 6 total, and the first 2 are they go hand in hand with each other, and they're both by the same author. So that is Eckhart Tolle. And the first one by him is The Power of Now. The reason I recommend this audiobook is because it helps build a foundation leading up to everything else you'll listen to. It really focuses on keeping the listener in the present moment, or focuses on trying to keep the listener in the present moment. That's really the goal and the objective of that particular audiobook. It's to really just awaken oneself to kind of shut off everything that's happening around you and look inwards a little bit more. So this book is great, and it helps lead up to a lot of the other ones I'm about to mention. So again, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. So again, it helps you stay in the present moment, and it just helps really start the process in terms of your overall, the awakening of your consciousness. So that is the first audiobook. The second one is actually also by Eckhart Tolle, and that is called A New Earth. This one was written shortly after his first one, The Power of Now, and it was kind of done as a follow-up to his first book. This one discusses the overall awakening of the human consciousness from a global perspective, and really just saying or discussing the direction that everything is going in terms of, I guess you could say, in terms of the universe, and in terms of humanity's involvement with the universe and the unflowering of the human consciousness. So definitely an interesting book if you're into that stuff, and a great follow-up to The Power of Now. So that's number 2. Number 3 is Buddha's Brain by Rick Hanson. This book is really interesting. It discusses kind of the human mind and really the physiology of the human brain. So it is a very technical book, and if you're into lengthy words and a lot of the author's a doctor, and he definitely doesn't hold back. So if you're into having to maybe pause and rewind back and re-listen to some things, or even just look stuff up online as you go, it's a great book to help you build knowledge, not just from the book itself, but from other things you may research to get a better understanding of what's being discussed in the book. That's like the best way I can describe it. So I listened to that like 3 times, and it's because I had to listen to it 3 times, just to have a full, comprehensive understanding of what's being discussed. So if you're interested in finding out the inner workings of the actual human brain, and how that connects with your body, and how that affects your mind and your thinking and everything, from really like a technical kind of standpoint, I would recommend Buddha's Brain by Rick Hanson. This was actually a book that was recommended by a subscriber in the previous video. He had commented on that video and given it as a recommendation. And if you're watching this, thank you for that, because I really appreciated it. I did respond to that comment, and I did listen to that audiobook obviously a few times, and that's why I'm including it in this list. So check that out. That's number 3, Buddha's Brain by Rick Hanson. So, moving on to number 4, and that is Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And Marcus Aurelius is, or was, a Roman emperor, and he was actually considered one of the last 5 good or great Roman emperors that really just led the Roman Empire to the success which it did achieve. He is also known as a Stoic philosopher, and what that really means is, see, Stoicism, you can almost say, it's very similar to a lot of other philosophies. I mean, for instance, Taoism or Hermeticism and things like that. So it's all sort of revolving around the same thing, and it all dates back to, that's a whole other video. I can get into that another time. But we'll stay on point with these audiobooks here. So check out Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. It's a great look. It's almost like a journal or a log that he had written, and it almost seems like he's addressing the people of Athens and the people of Rome, and he's just like addressing people of that time, of that age, and he refers to everyone as his kinsman, which is basically like saying my brother or my basically another human being, and just to acknowledge that this person is another human being that exists, not to lay judgment on them by their race, their religion, their male, female, whatever it is. They're just kingsmen, and they're to be taken as that. So they're human beings, in short. So this book is great because it helps get inside the mind of Marcus Aurelius at the time. Being such a successful emperor, you'd expect him to be an asshole. Like, a lot of people nowadays would be assholes when they're in that position of power. But when you really listen to this book, or if you read the book, you can understand that he is really taking a step back, and I've talked about this previously, and looking at life and the universe from a macro perspective. He talks about trying to get into the mind of his kingsmen. Not to do any good or do good or evil or anything like that, but just to have a better understanding of the inner workings of the mind. So Marcus Aurelius touches on things such as ego, and really touches on like forms of meditation and things like that. The only thing is he's not using modern day terminology to discuss these things because it's obviously written so long ago. So a lot of it is kind of like translated into, I don't know what you call it, like Old English or whatever. It may be difficult for some to understand, especially if your English, as it stands today, is a little, not the greatest. It may be something you might have to go back to and listen a few times again, or it might be better just to read it. But it's a pretty short book, and this is one of those ones that's free. So I'm going to put it in the description below. Definitely check that out. Have a download. It'll be pretty quick to listen to. So let's move on to number 5. And number 5 is the Kybalion, and that was written by 3 initiates. And I don't actually know. That's pretty much all I have in terms of the author, because it was written so long ago, and it was based on Hermetic philosophy, Hermetic teachings, and it has the 7 Hermetic principles of the universe discussed, and they're discussed and broken up, and really that is like saying why we're all here, why everything exists, what it all means, how it's intertwined, and it just discusses. That's really it. It just discusses the universe. It's a great book, and it's extremely old, and it covers a lot of that stuff. It's very similar to Meditations. It's actually very similar to all these books I'm discussing right now, but it's another one that's free, so I'm going to put the link in the description below to that. And the 7 Hermetic principles of the universe. Now, I don't want to get into them because it's going to take a long time, and this video is already kind of adding up a bit, but let me know if you do actually get into that book. Comment down below, because I'd love to open up a discussion just on that. I'd love to do a video just on Hermeticism. I'd love to do a video just on Taoism, on Stoicism, all those things, because they're all interesting and they're not quite as widely known as other philosophies, other religions, in this world as it stands today. So if you want to discuss those things, or if you're open to it, comment down below, share this video, like this video, get people riled up, and we'll get into some discussions. So the Kybalion by 3 initiates, definitely recommend it. It will help, in short, the book will help with your enlightenment. It will help you, with that macro perspective. It will help you understand that all things are intertwined. It will help you understand that there is no good, no evil, that there's no polarity between things, that everything just is as is, and it will help you practice non-judgment in your day-to-day life. So that's summarizing it, and that's the best way I can do it without getting too in-depth. So, number 6 now, and this is the last book I'd like to mention. It's not even a book. It was actually a YouTube video that I watched / listened to a few days ago, and it's only about 2 hours long, and it's free. It's on YouTube, obviously. Link in the description below. If I can annotate it, I'll try and do that, but have a listen to this. It kind of, it's I don't even know who it's by, but it's an all-encompassing discussion or chat on the universe, and on how you're involved in the universe, and how you can essentially create your own miracles and just use your mind to and your third eye to envision things in the future. Now, when you do these envisioning practices, to not then identify with what you're envisioning, because then that becomes ego. So it teaches you a lot of different things. It doesn't really even teach you, it just kind of covers a lot of different things that you can try practicing, and just to maybe get a better understanding of all these other audiobooks. I mean, it could even be good to start with this 1-2 hour book, and just listen and see if you have an interest, and go from there, because a lot of the other audiobooks are anywhere between like 6 to 12 hours, so they're a big commitment. You may just want to start with something smaller, something on YouTube, have a listen and see if you like the direction all of it's going, and then from there just continue, you know, if that's the path you want to take. So that's pretty much it. That last one, I think it's called like How to Create Miracles in Your Life, and the Law of Attracting Power, or Law of Attraction Power. You know, but I'll put it in the description below. Have a listen to it, have a watch, you know, all that good stuff. If you like what I'm talking about here, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I'm going to continue to add more videos about audiobooks. This is part 2 in the series. I want to continue this series, get it to like part 10 or something, and, you know, just keep opening up discussions, keep broadening people's you know, minds on these things, and yeah, let's all grow together. So that's pretty much it. Have yourself a great day, and take care.